Van life had just started to become popular, and my best friend really pushed me, and she said, you know, there's a lot of people doing it a lot more affordably than you think that it is. This is set up like a little miniature RV, which I love. I wanted something that was a retro vintage feel, but still had some modernizations in it. Hi, I'm Alyssa. Come take a tour. Welcome to my kitchen. This was basically how this came stock, other than this countertop. The previous owner redid the counter and put in this butcher block. He redid the sink and put in this more modern faucet, which I love. This is a propane / electric fridge, which was stock on this as well. I did not like the black front, however, and I found this adorable wallpaper that felt a lot more me, and once I put that on there, I love my kitchen so much more after that. I've got I would guess around 10-gallon water tank. Don't know to be exact. I've just filled it up till it's full. But I also have a gray water tank for my dishwater and a black water tank for my toilet that I dump just like a traditional RV. This is my cooking space. I've got my 2-burner stove here. So even though I only have this stovetop, I don't really feel like I'm missing anything. I did originally have a microwave up here, but that only works when I run on shore power, and I'm pretty much always boondocking, so I just ripped that out and made it into storage. I really don't miss it. Occasionally I do miss having an oven. I have seen a couple van lifers though that have a collapsible one that you can set on a propane stove, so I am thinking about maybe getting that because I do love my cinnamon rolls and my cornbread, and I would like to cook a cookie. This is my favorite purchase in my van, my coffee maker by Bellman. It is completely powered by the stove, and I can make my white chocolate mochas every day exactly how I want them, or I can make regular coffee out of this, steam milk and everything. I love it. It is tiny. It takes up no space. It brings me so much joy every morning. For the first 3 months, I had this entire space really bare, and I just felt like it was empty and it just needed something. And a friend had given me this scratch-off national park map, and I thought, what a fun way to kind of show my goals, because national park hopping is my favorite thing to do. And every time I go to a new national park, I can scratch it off, and it makes it kind of fun. Every single morning when I'm in here making my coffee, making my breakfast, I really enjoy the layout of this space, and I think the design is perfect. There's honestly nothing I would change about it. I just love this kitchen. What inspired me to do van life? Honestly, I have always been obsessed with traveling. I have backpacked 27 different countries, most of them by myself. My best friend and I, we used to road trip, usually for like 2 to 3 weeks every year, national park hopping, camping out of our Jeeps, and I just loved it. And I got just so sick of the rat race and traditional lifestyle, and I just thought, how could I do this full time? And van life had just started to become popular, and my best friend really pushed me, and she said, you know, there's a lot of people doing it a lot more affordably than you think that it is. And she sent me a bunch of girls doing van life in tiny little cars, in vans with next to nothing for $5,000. She just really helped me see that it was possible on any budget, and so I just quit my job of 10 years, ended my relationship of 4 years, moved out of my apartment I lived in, the city I'd lived in for the last decade, and said, you know what, I'm done with this. I wanna live a different lifestyle. I wanna do van life and live on the road and live with less stuff, less work hustle, and I have loved every single second of it. Welcome to my living room / dining room / bedroom. So this is a 90s Dodge van built out by Coachman on manufacturing. So most of this was the original way that it was when I got it, other than the owner before me ripped out the carpeting, put in hardwood floor. This is set up like a little miniature RV, which I love. Got storage up here. Got a little cubby underneath the floor here. Got some storage underneath this seat and another cupboard where I keep my coffee maker. These flip down into the middle, this comes out and I put it on the floor, and that's how this whole space turns into a bed. If I'm being real, I don't switch this as often as I would like because I really do enjoy it when it's like this and not just a bed space. But I am lucky, I've got a counter that hangs over my bed right there, so it makes it really easy for me to leave it as a bed and eat dinner over on this counter. If you're someone that wants, you know, a little 15, 20-minute routine of setting up and taking down your bed every day, this would be fine, but for me personally, I just don't switch it very often, and I do kind of wish I had a stationary bed with another little seat somewhere else, because I just don't have the energy or the desire to switch it as often as I would like to have this seating space. So once I picked out this van and I realized what the colors were in here and all of the blue, I knew that I'd wanted some browns and oranges and yellows. That was kind of the vibe I was going for. I am an avid thrifter. Most of the things in here I slowly thrifted. So I just watched until I found the right color scheme and the right pieces. There's a lot of fun in waiting for the thrift and not really knowing what you're gonna have, and also having something different than what everybody else has. And shout out to my grandma, who has done so many special things for me over the years. She found this vintage National Park postcard fabric and made me this pillow. She is just so special to me, and she has done so many wonderful, unique things to help give me decor in here that makes it feel a little more like me and a little like her. Most of the time I'm out of this van out hiking, but when I do have a day where I'm hanging out in this space, I'm usually here working on things for my thrift shop or reading a book, enjoying my coffee with my dogs. I try to do it where there's somewhere with a view so I can sit with my doors open and just enjoy my space. I wanted something that was a retro vintage feel but still had some modernizations in it and wasn't going to be, 300,000 miles and everything breaking down all the time. I love these Coachman vans, they're awesome. Welcome to my little miniature bathroom. Here I'm sitting on my toilet right now, which is more of an RV camper style toilet with a black water tank, which I love. I love not having to take my toilet out and dump it like some toilet setups. This setup is very perfect for me. I have original curtains here that go here and here to block off my little bathroom space so that I have privacy, but I also use those to block off my bedroom space from lighting, or I can use it right here to block off anybody from seeing me when I'm standing here cooking or doing anything. I love these are the heavy duty original curtains that it came with, and they also keep in a lot of warmth in the winter. I can close that and keep my bedroom really warm that way. Without having a shower, I have a lot more space here in my van and the ability to use up all of my wall space. So I don't wish that I had a shower. I use Planet Fitness like most van lifers. And I do have an outdoor shower, but I have yet to set that up ever. I don't have a lot of storage space, so I hung up some things here for all of my bathroom stuff. I've got my toilet paper hung up over here. I really kind of wanted a more hippie vibe in this bathroom, so I like this macrame and these little daisy mirrors that I've put up in here and the blues that I've got going on. So I love the energy. It all flows and matches with the rest of the space really well. After I decided that I wanted to do van life and got rid of my apartment and all my things, I'm very lucky, very blessed to have a wonderful mom who let me move in with her for about a year while I worked and saved up with next to no bills so that I could buy a van outright. This van is a 1992 Dodge Ram camper van. It has only 80,000 miles on it, and it cost me $15,000 on buying it. I put another $1,500 initially on some little fixes that it needed with mechanics and different things. And then I spent thrifting most of the things. I maybe spent $500–600 on all of the decor, the kitchen gear, and all of that. I started just casually looking way before I was ready to see what vans were out there, what options were available in the area, and what average prices looked like, so that when I was ready to buy, I knew, hey, is this a good deal? How likely am I to find another one like this? What kind of things I like or don't like? And I looked at vans so in-depthly that once I decided that this was the van I wanted to go look at, this was the first and only van I looked at. And I looked at it and I loved it. And I just looked at my mom and I said, this is the one. And she said, are you sure? This is the very first van you've looked at in person. And I knew it. I knew it felt like me. I knew it felt like the perfect layout for my dogs, for my lifestyle. And I love that it's a Class B and built out by Coachman on manufacturing instead of being a DIY van. It's way easier to get insurance for. The quality of the build compared to some DIY vans that I've seen and compared to some trailers that I've seen, the quality of all of it is unmatched, and I'm very happy with it. Welcome to my storage space. Here I have got my closet area. I've even got a closet bar in here, which I love. And underneath of here, I have my pots and pans and my heavy food storage. Up here, I've got my bedding and all of my items for my thrift shop and any other large storage items. This whole entire space is that. Over here, I did put a Berkey water filter for my water and I strapped it in. So I did drill into this wall to put my Berkey up here, and I've got my dog's food and water over there as well. And up front, my favorite area probably is my dog space that I built out for them. They've got a seat here that is actually strapped down with the seat belt and has little hooks to hook to harnesses for safety. Instead of having like floor space where a passenger seat would be, I built a wooden box that's even with the seat, and there's a lid to that, and all of their clothing and all of their gear is underneath of there. And then on top of that, they can walk all the way out to the dash, and they've got their little toy bin up there and all of that good stuff. So I put water up there when I'm driving so they have access to their water. I do have the ability though, I didn't mount it in, so I can take that box out and I can take their seat out. So I do have the ability to have a passenger if I want. This is my entryway. I've got two big double doors, which I like a lot. I have the ability to just have one open or have them both open. We often like to sit here and look at the view, especially when I'm parked in a way where the view's this way instead of out the back. I like to sit here and have my morning coffee, read a book, and he's usually sitting exactly like this. In this space, I had a friend that has a small shop, and she made me this custom welcome mat with little daisies on it to match the daisy vibe I've got going on. And after you step in here, you step down into this space, and anyone up to 6 feet tall can actually stand up in here. So it's pretty cozy space for only being 9 feet tall total. It took me a while to decide what I wanted to do for shoe storage. I saw a lot of different ideas that really ruined your shoes and squished your shoes. And with me having hiking boots and having nicer shoes that I want to last, I didn't want something that would destroy them. So this is my favorite idea. This is a $2 curtain rod. Honestly think this is the best thing I could do for my shoes, so it doesn't take up any cupboard space or any floor space. This was a beautiful vintage find that I looked for a long time. I wanted it to have daisies. That was the vibe I was really going for. I wanted it to be rattan like the rest of my shelves. Took a lot of searching, and I found one girl on Etsy with this one. So hopefully it lasts a long time for me. It has a little spot I can put my dog's leashes, keys, any things for me to just quickly go in and out and go on walks or hikes with my dogs. This is a good design for me for my entryway. It is a perfect layout. I have had some wonderful women in my life that, before I started traveling, showed me how possible it was to travel as a woman by yourself. And yes, we have to do more to keep ourselves safe and a lot more safety precautions, but it is so very possible. It is no more unsafe out on the road or out in another country than it is right in the city that you're in. And sometimes it's even less safe because you're too comfortable where you live. And I would really encourage women who are interested in living a nomadic lifestyle or traveling more to just give it a try, because it is so much more affordable and fun and doable than people think that it is. If you'd like to continue to follow all my adventures, my Instagram is Adventures with Alyssa, and if you'd like to support my small business, High End Thrifted on Instagram is where I sell all my clothing. Thank you for watching.